Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you? One second. Let
Good.
me get my,
How are you?
well, thank you. I want to get my earpieces in here. I'm using my phone because my computer will not. There, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Oh, good. I can hear you well. Hi.
Okay.
And I don't know where, there were a bunch of other people here, and I don't know where they are. Admit. Oh, there we go. And Nini, there we go. Yay. And Ruth.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
I'm using my phone and because and I can't see anyone, I don't think. Um and participants, there's six of us. Because my computer won't go into the meetup for some reason or another. Or excuse me, I connected my meetup with everything else, and it screwed everything up and screwed the time up, but that's okay. Oh gosh.
Mm.
Hey Denise, how are you? Thanks for being here,
Hi, I'm obviously new to your group.
which is awesome. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Great.
All right, good. Where are you located? What city or state or what?
Mesa, Arizona.
Oh my gosh, you're so close.
Where are you?
I'm over in the Scottsdale area, South
Oh,
Scottsdale.
okay. Okay. Oh, are people from out of state? I thought this was
Uh,
just Arizona.
it's all over the United States, and once in a while, I get someone from another country. So
Wonderful.
yeah, it's
So,
kind of neat. All right,
okay.
yay! Hey Ruth, how are you?
Hi, Mark. Good. We can see you.
Oh, that's fantastic. I can see the speaker, but I can't see everyone else because I'm not on the computer, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
And so, let me see here. All right, introduce myself. And my name is Mark Earlix. And for Denise is information. And I am a healer by the grace of God. This is all that I do in my life.
Oh,
And all of I've been doing for many, 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 many years, about 48 years. So, um, any questions I can try to answer, anything about what I believe in, what I do, what I don't believe in, how I work things, or anything, please.
well, I
Anything.
think if I may, I've been
Sure.
in this spiritual world for quite some time. I'm from Boulder, actually, Colorado.
So, I just moved from there,
Oh, you did? Where were you?
in a place called Longmont.
I know
Yes.
Longmont. I used to, yeah, I lived there with a friend for a while. I was just in Colorado a week and a half ago and went through Longmont again. It's really changed, like everything else there.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm very familiar with your name. Actually, looked familiar to me. Um, so maybe I have heard of you or known you back when I was there and you were there. But in any case, healing is a very broad statement or a topic, and that could be a lot of different modalities and approaches. And I don't know if you channel or you are, what's your process?
Okay. Many years ago, it was about 48 years ago that um, I was kneeling before a Mary shrine, and all of a sudden, I found myself, and I was semi-conscious during this too. I wasn't sleeping, and I found myself over what looked like an old English countryside,
Oh,
and with a maze, and it was just a maze that went on forever in 360-degree view. And in this maze, I found myself somewhere in it, and there was a little grassy knoll area there, and there was a park bench. It looked like an old Chicago wood slab park bench, and I was standing next to it. And then I found my I found myself sitting on the bench, looking out, and in front of me was a road that was maybe about a real light brown earthen road that was maybe about 20, 30 feet wide and deep. And in this, uh, uh, to my left, the road led into a forest. It led into an alcove that went into the forest that you couldn't see into. It was so dark and lush and green. And to the right, it led into what looked like a handmade stone monastic structure, uh, just stone, nothing else. And then there was a wooden door that came down, and a procession of brown robed monks came out.
Oh,
And there were 4 deep and 10 long, and they all had their hoods on, and you couldn't see their feet because the robe covered them, and they had their arms in their
so
sleeves.
where are
And
you when this is happening? Are you still
I
sitting?
was I was sitting observing this,
I say, it
and
sounds like you were in England, old England.
maybe, but uh, there's more to the story, and I'm making it a short one, so I apologize.
No worries.
There's a lot more details. And so as they all passed, they were going into this alcove that led into the forest that was all around me, except for this road and that little grassy knoll area of the bench. And the third deep one in the last row stepped out, and he took his arms out of his sleeves, hood back, and he introduced himself to me. And I told him who I was. And I'm still semi-conscious that I was in this little chapel, perceiving all this stuff. So he started asking me about healing, or excuse me, he started telling me a little bit about healing. And then I was asking him questions, and he would ask me questions to bring out more stuff, and it kept on going and going and going. So a little while later, the procession came back. He got back in his place, and they went into the monastic structure there, the stone structure, and then the ramp door went back up. Then someone tapped me on the shoulder, and I swung my head around, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what a dream that I just had. And it was the next day. Um, that I was milling around outside trying to figure out if it was 6 in the morning. Excuse me, I'm hoarse. And as I was milling around, looking around outside, there was a street bum that was maybe about 50, 60 feet away. I don't know, some distance away. And he was walking briskly towards me. And I figured, okay, either this guy's going to hit me, or he's going to swear at me, he's going to do something vile, or he's going to do whatever. And I'm puffing myself up like I can take this guy. He's just this short. And so as he came up to me, I'm ready to hit the guy. And he's looking at me in my eyes, and I'm looking back at him quizzically. And he just looked at me and he said, "Put your hands on my head." I said, "What?" And it was a bum, a street bum.
Yeah, I
Greasy,
understand.
and he had a greasy head. He was balding. He was
Yeah.
unkept in his clothing and all like that. And so I felt compelled to put my hands on his head. And I did. I looked around. I didn't want to be embarrassed by anyone seeing this. And so as my hands were on his head for about 5 or 7 seconds, I felt this weird sensation coming out of my hands. And I didn't know if it was, the daybreak or the air pressure or the summer coming in, during the day or whatever, the heat. And it stopped after those few seconds. And as he's looking at me, he says, "Take your hands down." And I took my hands down, and he said, "Thanks for taking my headache away." And he walked away, and I never saw him again. And it was later that day, one of the brothers in that order where I was, I had just gotten there the day before, and one of the brothers came up to me, a really tall dude, and he looked down at me, and he said, "I got a headache." And I said, "So?" he kept repeating it. I got a headache. And I said, take an aspirin. And he looked at me again and he said, I got a headache. Then I remembered what had happened that evening before, being in the chapel, seeing those things with that imaginary person.
Right.
And then, I'm sorry.
I just said, right.
Oh, okay. And then I remembered what had happened that day. And I said, can I try, as I looked up at him, I said, can I try something really weird with you? And he said, yeah. And so I looked up at him and put my hands on his head, and I felt the same sensations again. And it stopped after a few seconds. And I took my hands down and said, how in the hell did you do that? I said, why in the hell did you ask me to? And ever since then, I've been learning about it, experiencing it.
Oh.
So it's something that comes from within without my own doing. But I'm able to teach these things as well. I remember that someone, I was working at Motorola, and an accident happened with one of the factory workers. And I went over there and I told her to give me her hand that she injured. And I sandwiched it in between my hands. And everyone's milling around, but I wasn't aware of that. And uh, after several seconds, I took my hands away. I knew something was done. And she looked at me and she wasn't hysterically crying anymore. She looked at her hand again and looked at me again. Then the supervisor came up. He saw that there was nothing wrong with her hand like there was prior. And he looked at me and she's looking at him. And then I kind of slunk away because I had never done anything publicly before. And so it kind of started from there. People started making appointments with me for their families, their friends, or themselves, or whatever. And I just started getting booked 7
Very
days a week.
interesting.
Yeah. So I believe, though, that these things can be taught, but the person has to, as I'm working with the person and teaching them these things, they have to learn how to go within themselves and to have that happen within them, to what I refer to as God, or you might call it Buddha or Jesus, or you might call it Yahweh, or
Right.
whatever. And so it's there, it's waiting for us, and it's never been separate from us. It's learning how to recognize that, recognize our understandings, and how to perceive that world that's waiting for us to find.
So I didn't mean to take you on that long journey, but there's more people joined. How I don't want to interrupt your meeting.
Okay. Well, I wanted to, share as well.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
oh, my pleasure. It's an honor.
And there's
All
more
right.
people.
Yes, there are. So, anyone else have any questions? I'm on my phone, so I can't see who's participating in this right now, and I apologize. I only can see who is speaking. The picture will pop up.
Okay.
Hi, well, I
So,
have my I have my video off because it says it's being recorded, but
yes.
so can it be like emotional, spiritual? Does it have to be physical or
Now, when I work with a person, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. When I work with a person, say in the circles in front of everyone, I request that you don't proceed with anything that's emotional, that's personal. And I don't want to spew it in front of everyone else in the world. What I'll do is ask you for one thing in your body that might be bugging you. And this will be like a quickie healing, or it might happen 5 minutes later, or when you're walking down the street 2 weeks or 2 months later saying, oh my God, when did this leave me? If that should be the case. And I'll just work with one thing. I'll focus on it, and I'll use my imagination, which means to image in action. It's not pretend and it's not fantasy. It's imagination, to image in action, that I'll actually be with you working with something. And that's the way I work with the healing circles. And I remember in the old days in Chicago, there'd be 50 to 250 people at times.
So
And
on this circle, then, are you asking us to tell you what
one
our,
thing,
okay,
one thing, if it's both arms, tell me one thing.
Okay.
And so, in any case,
this is
all right.
physical healing. What about spiritual? What about emotional healing? Without having
Uh,
anybody saying anything, I mean, just that's what you're after.
oh, here we go. Yay.
Ah.
Let me turn off my phone because I got y'all here now. Somehow it just went right in. Fantastic. We expand this and it's recording. Yay. All right, I can see everyone. Thanks for being here. How lovely. Hey, everyone. Hey, Mike and Kathy, Ruth, and Aria, Christine, Avra, and Jamia. And I hope that I got right. Okay. And Nini and Denise. Yay. All right. So let me take these things out. So it's just one thing. And I prefer that. This way we'll be able to get to everyone. And so, quick question. Jamia and Avra, where did you hear about this? Please.
Meetup, on Meetup?
Oh, fantastic. So it is working.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Same.
Love it. All right. So does anyone have any questions I can try to answer? Or
I got a
comments?
question, Mark.
Please, Mike.
To get in touch with that part of ourselves or part of myself, do I have to like get my ego out of the way, get out of my head, take a deep breath, and just basically open my heart and allow that to fill me instead of trying to figure this stuff out in my head and make it work?
You know, when we're thinking, analyzing, critiquing, judging, and just thinking about it, we're inhibiting the process of
Okay.
what I refer to as going within ourselves. The whole idea, it's really no different than the old analogy I always give. When you're wondering about something and you just don't know, say you're wondering about someone, or you're wondering about something you don't know about even. Say the next day you're in the shower or you're doing the dishes or something, and then all of a sudden an answer will come to you. It comes from somewhere. It's of something you don't know the answer to, or you might have a perception of someone and a really strong perception. Well, it comes from inside, and it's when we're not thinking about it. So the idea, in my understanding and my perception and experience of teaching, is to wonder about something. That brings us closer to the so-called spirituality that we're all really striving for, which is to get to know ourselves. But the spirituality is a blending of earth and heaven. There's no such thing as spirituality unless there's a blending of earth and heaven. We have to have that because we have the experiences of life, and the experiences of life are like a Groundhog Day that we've been experiencing other times in other places all the way up until now to bring us into who we are, what we are, why we are. The purpose of it all is to get to know ourselves. And we can do that through and delve into the greater perception of spirituality as we wonder about things. And that opens the door to what I refer to as, which I've always been talking about, the contemplation, which is a longer wondering, to make it simple. And we can purposely wonder about something. And if we keep it in mind and we're really wondering about it, what is this about? What is this? Or you know, if we're wondering deep inside about something, what is this? Then we'll get an answer sooner or later, even if we don't know what that answer might encompass. It'll give us an answer. And that leads into the contemplation if we practice wondering enough.
then we're able to contemplate it, and which is a longer process of wondering. Then that leads into what I refer to as, and what other people refer to as meditation. Meditation comes easy then. So we have this availability waiting for us to really wonder about. And that's when it comes upon us from within us. I hope that almost answers the question, Mike.
Mm, almost.
Okay.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I kind of think when I let go, I like to use the example, God's in everything. Whether
Yes.
something that happens to me, I judge as something I like or don't like, God's hand is still there.
Yes.
And if I have to drive somewhere that I've never been before, and I've never been to that area, and I get to an intersection and I don't know if I'm supposed to go left or right. So
Correct.
I just figure, oh, I'll just go left. And then a short time later, I'm in front of the place I'm supposed to go. I say, God, thank you, because I didn't do that,
Sure. And right, I totally get it. And that's correct too. So you're listening to that intuition, that inner voice inside. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Any other questions I could try to answer before we start? Please, anything, anyone. Aria? Okay. Nini, anything? All right. And Christina,
Yes, Mark. Hi.
hi. Good to see you.
You too. No questions. I mean, there's always that wondering, right? And everything you say just takes me into deeper thought. I think for me, one of the things I've learned is there's a sense of calm and peace when it is intuition, as opposed to a nervousness and chaos that tends to be
Yes.
my ego or me in the way, trying to control and manipulate or believe the stories kind of a situation. So
Yes.
when it's really subtle and kind of instant and quiet and calm, that's when I'm like, okay, that's the answer that I'm looking for.
Yes. And it's in that calm. And when we're wondering about something, there is no chaos, there's no anxieties, worries, or fears, because our attention is somewhere else. Anxiety, worry, and fear, that's especially anxiety is unproduced energy. It's chaos energy. It's not being utilized correctly, in my perception. So, and
That
so
makes sense.
yeah, so we have a choice of observing ourselves versus becoming wrapped up in all this energy that's not being correctly utilized. And if we observe ourselves being of that nature, all of a sudden it stops for that moment. But we have the ability to stop it for longer moments if we observe ourselves. Then the other doesn't have room to come in to create the chaos. But in another sense, we need chaos because you can't have change without chaos. And you can't have chaos without change happening. So it's a paradox world in some sense.
Yes.
I understand. All right, cool. Any other questions or comments, please, before we boogie here?
Yeah, I was wondering, how do you know, if you can answer this, if you've had a spiritual transformation or like awakening?
When you have the spirit, they go hand in hand. And in the spiritual transformation, that means you're changing from something. You're transforming from something. Then there's a semi clarity in your life, and things seem clearer, things seem easier. That's a big part of the transformation. And we have a different sight of things in our life. We have a different sight of people in our life, situations, whatever. And what was the other part? The transformation versus what, hon?
Awakening.
Yeah, that is the awakening when that's happening. It's a blending. There's no separation in God. It's just like we have eyes. And if the whole body correlates with the whole body. It's really one organism, and we have different parts, but you can't have one part and tell the other part to take a hike. Everything's working together. It's the same thing. It's a blending. It's a consciousness that all blends together, that we're really okay and nothing else really matters.
Mm.
And sure, we can strive for spirituality, but I know people that strive so deeply for spirituality and forget the body, they hurt themselves, they injure themselves, they get sick. You got to have both, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. Would you say a certain level of peace after that comes over you?
Say that again, hon?
Would you say a certain level of peace comes over you after such an
Yes.
experience?
Oh, most definitely. But it's very difficult to maintain that until we start to remember our experience. And then that kind of, what it does, it impregnates within us. It becomes stronger, and we keep getting more reminded once we remember our experience. And when we remember it 5 minutes later, or a day later, or a week later, it won't be the same anymore because it's integrated within us, but it's still a part of us. So we can remember pieces of it, which take us to a greater understanding of ourselves and the world. Does that make sense, Jemiah?
Yes, perfectly explained. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, good. Then we find out that nothing really matters as long as we're getting to know ourselves, because that's the process of what's happening. That's the blending of both worlds, the spiritual and the physical, which is the truer spirituality that we're really seeking to get to know ourselves. And when we get to know ourselves, we find out our truer self is a aspect of God, just a tiny, tiny little aspect of God. But it's magnanimous. It's huge, as much as we can handle. So never more. All right, unless we're afraid of that experience, of the adventure of getting to know ourselves, then it's real gentle with us, even more gentle. All right, cool. All right, Kathy, my dear friend, talk to
Mark.
me. Hi, good to see you here.
Good to be here. You had worked on my right shoulder. I had fallen in April, and you worked on it maybe about 2 months ago, and it's feeling better. I still have problems getting it, well, I'm getting it too far straight up. So if you could work on that, that'd be great.
All right, what I'd like
it.
you to do, this is really cool. Hold your arm out like that to right where it's starting to get tight. Right, a little higher, there. Yeah, right there. Can you feel the tightness in there?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second here. This is kind of neat. All right, put your arm down and go like this a little bit. Come back to normal. And raise your arm again and tell me if you notice any difference in
I don't have so much pulling behind me
Good.
on the side.
Let's,
I'm
and it can go,
still,
oh my goodness.
it, yeah, I think it feels somewhat better. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Let's see if this doesn't progress now, even more so.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
You rock.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, how's your back, Mike?
It's about 98% better.
Yes.
I still have in the mid back a little bit of that tenderness or whatever you want to call there, but it's about 98% better than what it was.
All
So
right.
thank you very much, Mark.
God bless you. Let me work with a little bit of the back there too.
It's the middle of the back.
And my perception is that it's coming more from the, this may be correct or not, I'm not going to be a seer or a prophet, but it's coming more from the right side.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I actually perceived you later doing exercises of push-ups or whatever they are. So let's see
That's
how
right.
that works for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slow.
Slow,
Yes,
slow.
yeah.
And please, anyone, go to my website if it's within your heart and do a gifting. There's a gifting tab, and it's either one time or you can have it keep on going if you want, whatever your thing is. Yeah, it's greatly appreciated and worked with. So, all right, Ruth, my dear friend, talk to me. All these Chicago people here, several of them.
I'm from Chicago also, Mark.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, Denise,
That's really funny.
that's great. All right, Ruth.
Hi, Mark. I'm still having an ongoing problem with the muscle that's on my left side. It's causing weakness.
Where is that now?
It's in my leg, and probably in the glute, that one. I was told it wraps around the leg from the back to the front. Where I'm feeling it is in the front, and it just makes the whole leg feel weak. So when I'm walking with a huge limp at the end of the day. So not so bad in the morning, but I've been, standing up for a few hours and so on. So,
all righty.
and it's on the left leg.
Left, my right.
You're right. Yes.
One last thing. All right, can you move around a little bit, Ruth, and tell me if you notice any difference yet? And be candid, please, just for a moment.
That feels good. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. And please do, everyone, please keep me updated. And I really appreciate it. Also, everyone, if you go to the website, check me out. If you would like an appointment, let me know. It can be Zoom or FaceTime, or it can be telephone, whatever your preference. I've done it all. So, or you want to come here and see me in person, great. I would love that too. All right. Aria, my dear friend, another Chicago person here. Yay.
Hello.
Hi.
So also my left leg, it it's like I'll be walking, nothing wrong, and then all of a sudden it'll cramp up really hard on the inner thigh where it attaches to the torso. And it also makes the leg kind of want to crumple.
It makes the leg do what?
It feels like it's going to crumple underneath me. And when Ruth was talking, I thought, is it the same thing? But I don't feel it in the rest of my leg.
Okay.
And I don't walk with a limp by the end of the day either. So, but anyway, it's on the inner thigh towards the front.
All right. Are you doing any kind of exercise at all?
Yes.
What
I
kind?
just started. Well,
There you go.
Just
there you go.
just walking. And I've got one of those vibration plates. I do a lot of movement while I'm standing on the vibration plate. And
what I would
a lot of
recommend, what I
stretching.
would
Go ahead.
recommend, the walking over, more so than the vibration thing. The walking is going to help the muscles to remember. And because they're weakened, it's been a long, long time since you've done some really good exercising in there.
Yes. So we were living in a tiny apartment for a while, like a year and a half.
Sure.
Really, really, really tiny. And we just moved. And now it takes me it feels like a half an hour to get to the kitchen, and
wow.
And
all right, good. All right.
I am so happy to be walking again. And I'm not really an outside person. It's not really a safe neighborhood to go walking.
Then do this for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about outside or anything like that. Just do
Yeah.
this
I
for
walk
yourself.
inside. It's fun.
Become a diehard with this. Turn it into a religion.
Okay.
But and that will help. This way you're participating in the healing, which is fantastic. All right. Now let me work with that and try to help you to remember. All right. Yeah, more than anything, it needs self-exercising, which is the walking. But
thank you.
This will set the motion for it. Even more so, you'll notice. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me work with you. Appreciate it. And Christina, yay!
Hi, Mark. Okay, I've just been feeling a little bit lightheaded, off balance. I think it's maybe sinuses. I don't know. So that's really what it is. I just feel off balance and not quite dizzy, but it feels like I'm gonna get dizzy.
Okay. All right, great. And what I'd like to recommend, do you have much salt in your food?
I don't you typically add extra salt?
Correct. I think that if you did, not to prescribe or anything, but if
Okay.
you did, that would also help.
Okay.
Now, that's when you have a meal, add more salt.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. And let me do something here also.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I even saw you later giggling. So,
Okay, good.
so, all right, good.
Always
Good.
a little extra.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Uh,
Thank you.
oh, my honor. Thank you. Denise, tell
Yes.
me, talk to me. Hi. Tell me
Hi.
one thing you would like me to work with, please.
Well, I have scoliosis and it's always a nemesis, but I have chronic neck pain on my left side up here,
Oh,
right there, right
okay.
there.
Right there.
You can see
Your left, my right. Okay.
that's correct. So,
All right. And again, or I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, when I work with someone through my imagination to image in action, there's a reality to it. And many people, not everyone, but many people will get a sense of my hands touching. And so, or near them, that sense. Either way. If that should happen, great. If it doesn't, great. It doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. The mind of what I refer to as God. So, okay, let me work with you.
okay.
Move your head around side to side a little bit, not to hurt yourself. No, from side to side, like rotate. No, going like this.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, not bad.
And that side is a little looser. This side is tight.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this side is tighter now.
Now that side is tighter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how's this side?
It's looser.
Yes. Yes. And let me do a little bit more here.
On the other side.
Now move your head side to side again.
Yeah, I can feel something different there.
All right, let's see what transpires from this though. Now that
Okay.
there's been a change, let's see what more might happen with that.
Okay,
Oh, my pleasure, my honor.
thank you.
Oh, awesome. And Nini, hey you. Are you there? Nini.
Did she go away?
Hi, Mark. I'm here. Yes, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. So
Just
talk to
your
me.
blessings as usual. Thank you.
I'm sorry, hon.
Just your blessings.
Oh, you got it.
Thank you.
Oh. Worry less.
Oh, thank you.
All right, my dear. All right, thank you. Avra, anything in particular you'd like me to work with on?
Well, maybe you can pick whatever's better out of these two, because I mean, I'm basically healthy. The only thing that ever seems to hurt is like lately my lower back. But
Okay.
I also heard that like it's really important to heal the gut if there's anything wrong in like the microbiome or whatever. So either of those two would be great.
What I kept getting was it's really important for you to do something, and I don't know if you're doing it in your life, but it's important for you to do something to uh, uh, find an exercise and I don't know anything about exercise, honest to God, but to tilt your back, your hip, back and forth daily in some kind of exercise, and also do something that's going to uh, tilt the pelvis
Okay.
as well. That's going to be the most important thing for you.
Okay.
And can you tell a difference now in your lower back?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to wiggle and do the things that you mentioned about like you know. So I think I've got to look online to see what those exercises might
Yeah.
actually be, you know, but
Good.
yeah, thanks. Okay. I will.
All right. Very important, because my hands kept going around the waist, going like this, like this, and like this, like this, and it'll be up to you to work with the pelvic area and doing the same thing.
Okay. I mean, maybe I can do some like yoga spine stretches too.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Me personally, I'm a almond excuse me, almond M&Ms guy with coffee and halls. So
All
that's,
right. Thanks.
that's my survival. So all right. All right. And Jamia, anything in particular, hon? Am I pronouncing your
Yeah,
name?
it's Jamia. You said it right the first time.
Okay. I apologize.
No problem. So I hurt my leg back in the beginning of June. And now like when I sit in lotus position, it's kind of uncomfortable after a while. It's like a tightness in my joint area behind my knee. Um,
On your
where
kneecap?
Yeah, like behind, yeah, on the behind part. So when I'm sitting in lotus position, like after about maybe I'll say about 10 minutes, I have to straighten my leg out or readjust, and it's just uncomfortable.
And I'm dyslexic, so is it your left leg?
Yes, it's my left leg.
Okay, my right. Got to remember this. All right. There we go. I'm perceiving that it's actually breathing a little bit in there inside. It's not inhibited its breath as much as it was.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Almost done, hon.
Okay.
All right. Can you stretch your leg out and then bring it back in and tell me if you feel any tightness in there?
It's a lot looser.
Good. Let's see what transpires from this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all so much. Again, if anyone's interested in an appointment, let me know. Either telephone or Zoom or FaceTime, whatever. And don't forget to, if it's within you, to go to the website, markearlix.com, and check out the events or whatever. I have workshops every month, 2 of them. One's a 2-hour one, and the other one's a 4-day one, for an hour and a half a day, 4 straight days. And this next one's on intuition. And so if anyone's interested, please. Other than that, any other questions or comments? How you feel, Kathy? I can't hear you, hon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it feels better. It
Good.
doesn't, yeah, much better. Thank
You rock.
Thank you.
Mike, you had a question?
I have a comment for Avra, and I do the yoga pose, the cobra,
Okay.
and then I do a variation of it where I pull my hands back a little more towards my pelvis, arch my back, and raise my pelvis. Then it's off the ground about an inch or so, and then you can move it forward and back and side to side, just a quarter inch or something, and that loosens the lumbar sacral joint and keeps that flexible.
Awesome. All right,
Okay.
thanks.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Denise, thanks, Mike. And do you notice any difference, Mike, in your back at all? Can't hear you if you're talking.
As I go through my day, I'll see if
Okay.
how it does. But thank you very much.
Oh, of course. Of course.
As
Thank you.
always.
Denise, how you do? Can you tell any difference still? Or is it better, worse, same, what?
The right side is looser.
Good.
So that's great. I'm
That
wondering
is
if
awesome.
you can tell me at the end where you're located in Scottsdale. I would come and see you. Is there a phone number, or you can tell me that
Yeah,
at the end?
if you call the 888 number, I'll answer.
Where is that, on the site or on your
Yes, 888
email?
it's 888-380-6388. And all the information about the appointments is on the website.
And are you, so you're in Scottsdale, and you can tell
South
me
Scottsdale.
where pardon me?
Yes. South
Oh.
Scottsdale.
By Indian School?
No, it's by Hayden and Chaparral.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Ruth, how you doing, hon? How's your leg? Your hip?
I
Everything?
think it's okay. I'm sitting down right now, but we'll see when I go do some stairs at the house.
Okay. All right, good. And see if it doesn't start to really begin to
Yes,
feel even better and better and greater.
great. Thank you, Mark.
How you doing, Christina?
So far, so good.
All right. I know you're not having a dizzy spell.
No, I'm not. I'm not. And you know me, I always feel the better effects the next day. So
I hear you. A lot of people.
yeah.
All right, good.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you, hon. Aria? How you doing?
Good. Do you know how, you ever had, something taken from you and you didn't even know it was bothering you?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. That's how my left leg feels right now. There's a
Yes.
sense of well-being that I didn't even know I was missing.
You rock.
Thank you. You were up. You rock.
Nini, doing good? Okay.
Yeah, yes, Mark. Thank you.
All right, good. How's your son?
Oh, he's doing better. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Excellent. And Avra?
I think I'm fine. Yeah, I'm gonna look at what are the right exercises and just go from there.
Good.
Okay,
Excellent.
thanks.
Excellent. And also see if it doesn't incrementally feel much, much better.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And Jamia? How you doing, hon? Okay?
Yes, it's much looser. So I'm
Good.
gonna meditate soon and I'll see if it gets easier for me to stay that way.
That's allowing that divinity, that godliness to take over. That's
Absolutely.
great.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
I really want to thank everyone for being here. And next Tuesday, same time, same place. And let's see if we can get even more people. And we'll see what happens. All right. Again,
Thank you, Mark.
thank you so
God
much.
bless you, Mark.
Thanks.
and
Have a
God
good
bless
night,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Mark.
Good night.
Peace, everyone.
Okay, I'll call you, Mark.
Okay, hon, please do.
Okay, I will. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.